Happy Friday, everybody. It's me, your old pal Mark. I got debits and credits behind me. I got big blonde hair. And of course, everyone's favorite Option Pit Director of Operations. We've got a little tit for tat thing going this morning. And one of the things I'm noticing, uh, 1 second, streaming now, is that, our world leadership seems a lot like my 9-year-old boy, and in that one my when he pushed them back or they pushed them back, doesn't matter who or what, right? My 3-year-old Valentino, if he comes up to my 9-year-old and hits him, then my 9-year-old hits him back, even though he knows he's bigger and whatever. But that's the way world leadership has been acting lately. They're acting like a bunch of children. So you just have to be aware that that means children tend to be more erratic. And so that means that the market is going to be more erratic. And you need to adapt to what the market is acting like. And we're in a market where, I think all things being equal, volatility wants to compress. But we've got these little temper tantrums that pop out from child world leaders like Xi and Trump and everybody in Europe and you name it. So I think that is one of the navigating political stuff. Don't navigate political stuff from this sense, right? If you're like, oh, our president's a Republican or our president's a Democrat, so all the economy's going to hell in a handbasket. If that's your approach, you're going to lose money, because I'll tell you, from kind of at that micro level, it really doesn't matter. But from a macro level, with the trade stuff, things like that, that's where it does make a little bit of a difference, and that's what's been driving things lately. So today, we've got markets were down pretty big on China adding some tariffs, but then Powell speaks, and lo and behold, I think we're heading toward potentially green on the day, because it came in maybe a little more dovish than people were expecting. And the reason why is because he's currently the only adult in the room and being forced to do so. So I think the Fed would love to be raising rates, or at least flat rates, but with everything going on China-wise, not going to happen. We did see the yield curve invert yesterday, and I've said this a couple times. I did a video on First Business that I want everybody to watch, where I discussed why the yield curve inversion is the stupidest thing. And that's kind of that. Oh, speaking of yield curve inversions, yesterday on Laura and I finally recorded our podcast, Cash.
And Couture.
And we had a couple of good questions. I actually talked about the yield curve a little bit.
And I actually fell asleep a little bit.
Yeah, Lauren fell asleep a little bit. But then we had a listener ask what were the fashion trends at all the different yield curve inversions, and Lauren had a little bit of fun with it. One of the things is the last great, most famous yield curve inversion happened to coincide with the month of Lauren Sebastian's birth. So you've got to ask yourself, maybe it was calling for the coming of big blonde hair when the yield curve inverted. Maybe that's really the signal. Maybe it's not an economic indicator. Maybe a really big yield curve inversion is a big blonde hair indicator. Just saying. On Monday morning, my VIX offer, optionpit.com/Kramer, is coming down. So this is your last chance to sign up for it. We're going to have something new coming up. I'm doing a webinar sometime in about a week and a half, covering how I'm trading butterflies and both long and short right now. That is going to be really fascinating, interesting, and worth your time. So come and check that out. Hope everybody has a great weekend and a great rest of your day. And I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great morning.